welcome back to another Level Up tutorial. Today we are going back into the Minecraft world and we are going to be doing a Minecraft adventure tutorial. So if you want to log on to your computer and hit up code.org/Minecraft, I will see you there. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Level Up tutorial. So hopefully you will have already logged on to code.org/Minecraft. And today we are going to head over to this Minecraft Hour of Code tutorials and we are going to do the Minecraft Adventurer today. So we're going to be doing lots of tasks, cutting down trees, shearing sheep and building houses. So yeah, let's get started. So we'll just click start here. So as with all these Minecraft tutorials, there's these little pop-up videos that you can watch and it helps you get a better understanding of the code that we'll be using. So what I would suggest you do is to pause this tutorial and give these videos a wee watch, and then once you're ready, just to jump back into this tutorial. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick our characters. So I think we used Alex last time. So I think we're going to go ahead and pick Steve for this one. So it's saying here to add a second move forward block to reach the sheep. So if you've not done the last Minecraft tutorial, this is our workspace here. You've got our run button here that we'll use when we want to run our lines of code. You've got our blocks here and you've got our workspace here. And something that I pointed out last time was that we have this workspace detail up here, and it just tells us how many blocks we should be using to reach our end goal. You don't have to particularly use these max numbers, but we want to be able to streamline our lines of code and do things quicker. So we want to move forward to reach the sheep, and it's already given us a hint here. So we just need to add a move forward block. So let's run our code here and see what happens. Great, so we have reached our sheep. So what you can do here is you can also click and you can see your lines of code in JavaScript. From here you can take notes or you can do screenshots. So that you'll know what to do for next time. So let's click continue. So our next instruction is wood is a very important resource. Many things are made from it. So we need to walk to the tree and use the destroy block command to chop it down. So we're going to count 2 blocks to move forward. And then once we're at the tree, we are going to destroy the block. So let's run it and see what happens. Right. So again, you can click on show code to see your lines of code in JavaScript. So our next task here is to shear the sheep. So we need to use the shear command here in our blocks of code to gather wool from both of these sheep that are in the center of the screen. So what we'll do is we'll shear this sheep first and then we'll shear the second one. So we are going to move forward 2 times. And then when we get to the sheep, we're going to shear him. And then after that, I think we're going to turn right, move forward once. And then when we get to the sheep, we should get here, we should shear him again. So let's run it and see what happens. Great, so we managed to shear both of our sheep. And let's continue. Brilliant. So it's telling us that we need to build a house, but the house requires a lot of wood. So we need to cut down these 3 trees. So it's already given us a bit of an idea of how to do that. It's given us a bit of a hint. So it looks like they've given us a hint to destroy this first tree here. So I guess we just need to figure out a way of how to destroy these other 2. So let's run this and see how far it takes us. Cool. So the lines of code that it's given us takes us to here. So we want to move forward 2 more times and then we can destroy that block, and that takes us here. So then we want to turn left. Here. We want to turn left, and then we want to move forward 2 more times. That'll take us up to here. We want to turn left again, so we come down slightly, so we can come up here and we can see the trees. Or I guess we could also see if it will work if we can go underneath the tree here. So we've moved forward, turned left. Let's move forward. Let's put another move forward here, and then let's destroy the block. So hopefully that'll take us up to here. Let's reset and let's run it. Awesome. Cool. Great, so let's continue. So again, we have got another video from code.org. Again, please pause this video and watch it, and then jump back in when you're ready. Cool. So it's telling us that every house starts with a wall. So we need to build the first part of our house by putting a place and move forward command inside a repeat loop. So this repeat loop will save us the times of having to continually pulling the move forward blocks over and over again, when we can just get the computer just to run that same line of code 4 times. So let's see what he's doing. So we have to build our house along this, this brown squares here. So we want to, let's say we want him to place down a birch plank, or you can choose any type of wood you want. I'm just going to keep it at birch plank. And then we want him to move forward, but you want to keep that inside that, that repeat loop. So hopefully he'll repeat that 4 times. So let's run it and see what happens. Cool, so we have managed to build our wall. So let's continue. So here it's giving us 3 options of how you want to build the floor plan to your house. You can click on the easy, medium, or hard. I think we're going to keep things simple today and we'll go for an easy, but if you're feeling really confident, then I'd suggest going for a medium or a hard. But let's just go with an easy one and let's build up to it. So let's select that. So we're just finishing off the square of our house here. So let's get him moving. So we've already been hinted at turning right. So he's going to turn right, and then we want to repeat this loop a few more times. So let's put another repeat loop in here, and then we want him to move forward and then place a birch plank, and then he's going to do that 3 times. And then when he gets to this corner here, we want him to turn right, and then let's put another repeat loop, and we want him to move forward and place a birch plank down again, and that'll take him to here, and then we want him to turn right again and then repeat the same thing. So we'll put our lines of code within this loop. So let's run it and see what happens. Brilliant, so now we have our reuse. Cool. So let's continue. Cool, so what it's wanting us to do is it's wanting us to plant crops on both sides of the water so we don't get hungry later on. So we want to be able to put our crops down on either side of this little river here. So it's given us a repeat loop, which I think we should use. So let's do that. Let's pop a repeat loop in there, and let's get him to plant a crop and then move forward. And hopefully he'll do that 6 times. And then when he gets to the end, we want him to turn right, and then we'll get him to move forward 2 times. But we're going to use this little loop here and change the repeat to 2 times. And then we want him to get to turn right, and then we want him to repeat this loop here again. So let's do that. Let's get him to plant a crop. and then move forward. So I think that should be right. Let us give it a bit of a run and see what happens. Oh no, we seem to have missed out a little plant crop there. So let me change this to 7 times and let's see what happens. Yeah, brilliant. So we've managed to plant the crops on either side of our river. So let's continue. So it's getting a bit dark now and we need to go home. So running into a creeper is a bad idea. Carefully move past the creepers and reach the safety of your home. So depending on how you want to do this, we want to avoid these little green creepers here that's kind of blocking the entrance to our home. So there's several ways that you can go about it and how you want to get home. So we can go straight ahead, along, and then up home, or we can go up first, along, and up. So you know what? I think I'm going to go forward, up, and up again. So let me count the squares. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to go forward 4 times. So we're going to use this really handy repeat loop here. So we're going to move forward 4 times. And then when he gets forward, we want him to turn left. So let's turn left. And then when he turns left, we want him to move 1, 2, 3, 4 times again. So again, we're going to use this really handy repeat loop. We should get up here. And then what we want him to do is we want him to turn left. And then when he does, we want him to go forward 2 times. So let's use this little repeat again. So let's see what it wants us to do when we get there, whether we need to turn around. But let's run it and see what happens first. Oh, brilliant. So we've successfully made it home and we have used all of the 9 blocks that it's asked us to. So let's click continue. So things are getting a little bit tricky now, I think. So we've been trying to find the most valuable resources underground, but it can get dark. So it's telling us we need to place at least 2 torches and mine at least 2 coals. So the coals that we need to mine are these kind of dark pixelated blocks over here. And depending on what you want to do, you can place lights where you're standing in the corner if you want to move a little bit around. As you can see in your workspace here, you don't have a limitation on how many blocks you can use. So, you know, be adventurous if you want to put, maybe try putting a light right in the corner of the underground or right at the beginning. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place the torches, you know, wherever I mine for the coal. So he's facing forward at the moment, so I'm going to mine this one that's closest to me. So I'm going to get him to turn left, and then I'm going to get him to destroy the block. And then after he destroys the block, I'm going to place a torch down. So it should take us here, hopefully. Let's give it a run and see what happens. So we've actually just placed the torch where we're standing. So what I can get him to do is I can get him to turn right and go straight ahead and mine this coal up here. So let's get him to turn right, and then we want him to move forward 1, 2, 3 times. So again, we're going to use this really handy repeat loop. And once he's there, we'll get him to destroy the block and get him to place a torch there as well. So hopefully that should be enough for us to complete the task. So let's reset and let's run. Brilliant. So we have successfully placed 2 torches and mined at least 2 coals. If you want a bit more of a challenge, I would suggest maybe mining all the coals before you pop your 2 torches down. or try and mine at least all the coals and see what happens. So yeah, let's continue. So our next challenge here involves a bit of lava. So walking into molten lava is a bad idea. So let's place some cobblestones to create a bridge and then mine at least 2 of the iron blocks. So the iron blocks that we are going to mine are these kind of peach orange color pixels at the other side of this lava. So I guess we need to build a little bridge over here so that we don't get swept away and burnt. So we'll get him to move forward 1. And then when he's there, we are going to get him to place a cobblestone ahead. Now this drop-down menu is really handy because you can actually choose any material you like, but I think I'm just going to stick with the cobblestone. So let's place cobblestone ahead because you don't want him to place it where he is. Otherwise, we'll just keep walking and walk into the molten lava. So we'll get him to place it ahead and then we will move forward 2 times. So hopefully that should take us up to here. And then once we're here, we are going to destroy the block. But it's telling us that we need at least 2 of these iron blocks. So once he's there, we'll get him to turn right. And then we'll get him to move forward 2 times so that we're not mining it in front of the torch here. And to move forward 2 times, and then we'll get him to turn left and then destroy the block in front of him. So hopefully we'll destroy these 2 here. So let's run it and see what happens. Great. So we've managed to mine these 2 iron blocks. Again, if you want a bit more of a challenge, see if you can mine more of those iron blocks and see if you can actually try and mine all of them before you finish this challenge. So let us continue. So here we come to another video. So again, I would pause this tutorial and click play on this and then jump back in when you're ready. So in that video, it explains a bit more about if commands and it's given us a bit of a head start here. So the challenge is lava is hiding beneath some of these blocks, which you'll need to cover up before moving forward. An if command will come in handy here, and a move forward command in the correct place to mine these blocks. So what it's saying is that once we destroy these blocks, we don't know if there's lava hiding underneath it. So we want to be prepared and place a cobblestone on top of the lava so we can safely move forward and mine some more. So it's given us a bit of a hint. So it says repeat 7 times. We need to destroy the block, and then if lava ahead, do. And then it says place cobblestone ahead. But we need, it says up here that we need a move forward command. So where would we place this move forward command within this loop? So we need him to move forward before he destroys the block. So let's see if this works. No, so we need to move this move forward block somewhere else. So let's reset this. So we are going to place this move forward block after this line of code. So let's run it and see what happens. Brilliant. So we've managed to mine all those blocks and reach the end. So let's continue on to our next challenge. Cool. So it's telling us things are getting a bit tricky, so we might need to have a wee think about this next challenge. So it's telling us to mine 3 redstones, but not to fall into the lava. We need to use an if command to place cobblestone over any lava that we do uncover. So the redstones that they're talking about are these red pixelated blocks over here. So going back to what we've just learned about the if lines of code, how do we incorporate that into this? So what I probably do is I just go with the fundamentals of just moving forward and then seeing what happens. So let's use our repeat line here, and we just want him to move forward 2 times, and that should reach this red cobblestone here. So what we want him to do is we want him to destroy that block, and then we're going to use this if lava ahead to place the cobblestone ahead. Again, you can choose different types of material if you'd like, but I think I'm just going to stick with the cobblestone. And then what we want him to do is we want him to move forward, which should take us onto this block here. We're going to get him to turn left, and then we're going to try and hit this red block up here. So we're going to use our handy repeat loop, and we just want him to move forward 2 times. And then we are going to get him to destroy the block. And again, if lava ahead, place a cobblestone ahead. And then we'll get him to move forward 1 more block so that we are standing there. And then we're going to get him to turn left. So let's pop a little left block here. And then we'll get him to move forward 2 times again. And then we'll get him to destroy the block. And then just for the sake of it, we'll tell him if there's any lava ahead to pop a cobblestone ahead. So let's run this and see what happens. Brilliant. So we've managed to successfully avoid dropping into any lava. You might have noticed that I actually used more lines of code than they said in the workspace. So what I would recommend you do is maybe try again and see if you can minimize the number of blocks used to complete the challenge. And you will notice that actually only 1 block needed lava, had lava, and that we had to put cobblestone on top. But the great thing about the if line of code is that it only does it if there is lava. So it's always safe to pop it in anyway. It doesn't really matter. But what I suggest is maybe you could use a little loop code again, and maybe try and minimize the amounts of lines that I have put. So yes, let's continue anyway. So we've gathered a lot of resources on our adventure, and we've built a really nice house. So now we want to lay some rail from the edge of the map to the door of the house. So here's our little guy here, and we want to build some rail that goes all the way to the front of our house, which would be very convenient in real life. So he's facing us at the moment, so let's get him to turn right first of all. And then we are going to use this line of code, repeat 6 times, and we're going to get him to place some rail and move forward. So I don't know why it's giving us a little option here when the only option is rail, but yeah, let's see what happens when we run this code firsthand, and let's see how far he gets. Cool, so it takes us to the end of that line. So once he gets to that corner, we're going to get him to turn right. We're going to get him to repeat the same thing. So let's repeat and get him to place the rail and move forward. So let's reset and run it again and see what happens. Brilliant. So as you can see, our character has now got a rail from outside of his house. So let's click continue. So we have reached the end of this adventure. So again, I'd get you to pause this tutorial and watch this video that has popped up, and then just join us again once you finish watching it. So we've completed all our puzzles, so now we can mine, we can build, and we can create something unique using all the tips and tricks of coding that we have learnt so far. So what I'd recommend you do is just to start playing around, maybe place some sheep around, maybe shear them, you can build on the house, you can plant crops, and I would use all of these lines of code and try and use some if blocks and repeat loops so you don't have to keep dragging the move forward lines of code. So yeah, I would just let your imagination run wild and start building your own world of Minecraft. So yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys. If you want to show us your creation, please make sure to comment down below and to send us an email. If you like some of these tutorials and you want to see more, then leave us a comment below or hit the like button on the YouTube video. So thanks again for joining us today, guys. We hope to see you again soon. Bye.